Welcome back student. In this video we are going to understand a very important feature of Excel, that is Power Pivot. Power Pivot feature has been introduced as add-in. Even now it is add-in, but however it is an inbuilt feature which will be available easily in 2016 and 2019 version. Previous to that it requires an effort because you will have to add it as an add-in, and that will require some efforts. However, it is 2019 version and here it is quite easy. If you will not get to see the tab of Power Pivot, then what you need to do, you need to go to File. After that, you need to go to Option. From here, you can go to Add-ins. Now under add-ins, you will get to see there are many options which are coming like Power View, Power Map. Apart from this, you can see this Power Pivot. Okay, here Excel add-ins are mentioned. You will have to go to COM add-ins and click on Go. Now from here you will have to select Microsoft Office Power Pivot, whatever version that is being mentioned over there, and it is checked by default, so I need not to do anything. Click on OK. Next thing you need to do to go to File, and after that you need to go to Option once again. Go to Customize Ribbon. Now here you will get to see this option of Power Pivot which is unchecked. Check this, click on OK. Now here you will get to see the option of Power Pivot. That's what we require. Now the first important aspect of Power Pivot, it is to manage the data or organize the data and present it in a manner so that it is understandable, so that you can take managerial decisions. Fine. So first of all, I want to show you the data which I am going to use. Here first data is of items where I am going to create the Power Pivot. In the items mention, what is mentioned is the name of the item, which is, let's say, whiteboard, notice board. Now what is the selling price of this particular item? What is the cost of this item? So two aspects of the items are mentioned. First one is the selling price, second one is the cost. Apart from this, we have got client data. Now in the client data, we have got client name, we have got their contact number and email ID. That's a dummy data I have created. However, we have got client name, contact number and email ID. Okay, so that's the second data. Apart from this, we need a data again, that is order info. This is the main data. Over here we have got the order ID, item, on which date this particular order has been done by the client, and how many number of items they have purchased. So that's the information we have got in the order data. Fine. So we have got three datas. Now all these three data are interconnected, but right now they are represented in three different tables. So here Power Pivot, Power Pivot is going to be very useful. Now how to go about this? First of all, I will have to click on this Manage. The moment I will click on this, it will open a separate window for the Power Pivot. So here you can see Power Pivot for Excel, item, info, Excel assets. Fine. It is right now blank because there is no data as such. Now here you can extract the data from any database. Here like SQL Server, MS Access, from Analysis Server or different Power Pivot, you can extract the data. Apart from this, from data service like OData data feed, there are other sources also. Let me click over here. Now these are all sources from where you can get the data. However, my data is in Excel format, so I will drag it down or I will scroll it down, and from here you will get to see this option of Excel file. Let me select this, click on next. Now here you will have to give a friendly connection name. By default it is Excel, there is no harm in that. The first data that I am going to extract is of, let's say, order. So I will give it Excel order. Now you will have to give the file path. You can simply browse the file. So I'm clicking on browse, selecting this order info file. You can double click this or otherwise select this and click on open. Now this is very important. Here you will have to select use first row as column headers. So the first column will be considered as header, which is very important. Click on next. Now here it will mention all the sheets which are there in that particular file. So you will have to make sure you are selecting the correct sheet which having the data. I know that is sheet 1. I can select that, and if you have got any doubt you can click on preview also. Now here I have clicked on preview. I can see that that's the correct data. So let me click on OK and finish. So here you can see that 1200 rows transferred close, and over here the data has been transferred. So if I will scroll down, we can see that we have got the order info data. Now let me stretch the columns a bit. Here you can see the format of the date is like this. However, you need not to worry. There you can see the date format option. So you can select the format according to your requirement. So let's say I'm selecting the format which is this one. Fine, and it's going to be applied in this complete column. So fine. So we have got first data which is order. By default the name is coming as sheet 1 because this has been extracted from sheet 1. So let me double click over here and I'm going to change the name to order info. That's a more suitable name. Fine. Let me get the second data from other source. Once again click on Excel file, next. This time I am going to get the data which is okay. Item info I'm having in that particular file. Order I've got. I need to get the client data, so I'm giving a name client. Browse, going to select client info, open. Use first row as column header, next. No need to preview, I know that's the correct data, and let me click on finish. Okay, here you can see 12 rows transferred, close. And here you can see client tab has been created. It has been created successfully, means correctly. The reason is being the sheet name over there was client, so that's the reason. Here we have got the client name, their contact number and email ID. So two table we have got. Now another table which is in the exact file where we are working currently. So there is another way of adding this. You need to select the data and you can simply click on add to data table. Now here you can see this has been added to the table and by default the name is table 1. So again I am double clicking and I am giving the name. Let's say the name was item. Okay, so I'm giving the name item info. Fine. So now we have got three tables. First table we have got the order information. Uh, in the second table we have got client related information, and in the third table we have got items related information. What is the selling price, cost, and everything. Okay, now what is the main purpose of Power Pivot is to create the connection between all these three data. So how to do that? So in order to do that, you need to go to diagram view. So once you will click on diagram view, you will get to see all the tables which has been created. So these two are fine. Here I am going to stretch it a bit so that all the fields will be visible. Fine. Now you will have to start creating a connection. Now the first connection that is I am going to establish over here is between this table which is ordered data and the client data, and the only thing which is common in these two data is the client name. Fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this which is the client name, stretch it and connecting with this client in this particular table. Okay, so it will establish the connection. You can see that now here you can see it is coming as 1, and here you can see it is coming as star, or in a technical term asterisk. Now why it is coming as asterisk? Because in the client table we have got a client name single, and here we have got many client names because it is based on whenever they have made an order. So one against many. So here the connection has been established in such a manner that here in this particular table, which is the client table, a single client name may have many client names in the order table. So that is how the connection has been established, and that's the reason it is 1 over here and that is asterisk over here. Now let me establish a connection between this client and this item info. Okay. Okay, there is no connection as such. Actually, this is the client data, this is an item data. There is a connection between, however, the order table and the item table. That is, the item is going to be connected with the item name. Fine. So let me do one thing. It is possible to establish the connection like that also. However, it will not look that good. So I have moved that a bit. Now what I'm going to do, again, item name is going to be connected with item. Again, here the connection has been established. You can say 1 is to many. So here a single item name, and in the order table definitely there are many items which are mentioned, means a single item name has been used many a times because it catches every instances of order when that is being placed. So 1 is to many, again here 1 is to many. Okay, so we have established the connection. Now you can simply click on data view. Fine. So let me come to this order info tab where we are right now. And let's say I want to get some information. So the information that I am looking for, let's say, total number of sales in terms of revenue, let's say, because in this particular data we have got the order ID, when that particular order has been placed, what is the item, what is the item name, and what is the client, and how many of items they have purchased, that is number sold. So based on this I want to know that how much of revenue has been generated from this particular transaction. So here I'm going to add, double click, and I'm going to give it a name, revenue. Apart from this, I will require another information, let's say cost, and another information that I'd be required, that is profit. Now that's going to be based on per transaction, means when this single transaction happens, how much of revenue has been generated, and how much of cost has been incurred, and how much of profit we have captured. So revenue we need to get. Now in order to get the revenue, definitely we would be requiring the help of both the data, which is the client data as well as the item info data, but mostly the item info data, because here we have got the sales price, we have got the cost also. So with the help of that we will be able to generate the revenue as well as the cost, and after using both this particular column we will be able to get the profit as well. Okay, so first of all we need to get the revenue. Now here we can apply a formula similar to how we are applying a formula in an Excel. So equal to, so over here in the formula bar you need to see, now equal to sign, after that we are going to apply a formula which is related, bracket start. So I've typed related, given the bracket. Now once you will give the bracket, there you will get to see all the fields, means all the fields from these three tables, because we have established the connection. Now whichever field is need to be used, you can use that. So here I need to use item info table, and we required sales price. Fine. So we are selecting item info sales price. Okay, bracket close. Now this particular set of information is containing the sales price of the item, which is, let's say, this one, that's going to be captured from here because that is being connected, so we need not to worry about anything. Now that's going to be multiplied by number sold, this one, then only we will get to see the revenue. So simply we can start typing number sold, and here you can see number sold is coming. So you can select this one also, which is going to be mentioned order info, which is the tab name, and then the field name, which is number sold, or otherwise you can select this thing also. So I'm going to select this. That's it. Enter. The moment I will do that, you can see the revenue is coming for this particular transaction. Now similarly, we need to get the cost. So here again I'm going to apply a related. Now this time I am going for again item info table, but we require the cost, and that's going to be multiplied by number sold. So I am typing number sold once again. Okay, enter. Okay, what's okay, I have not given the bracket over here, that's a mistake. Okay, fine, let me correct this. Fine. So here we have got the revenue per transaction, we have got the cost as well. Now it is very easy to get the profit. So what we are going to do, going to apply equal to. Here related only required because we can use revenue and cost, these two columns. So simply I can start typing revenue. Okay, so here you will get to see revenue, and I am subtracting this with cost. Fine, enter, and we have got the profit as well. Okay, so this is how interconnecting data can work. The next important thing is to generate measure. Measure are nothing but basically functions actually. So let me get back to this data, and here you will get to see the option of measures. You can simply click over here, or you may click over here as well. You will get to see this option of new measure. Click. Now here you will have to select the table name. There are three tables in your data, so you can click over here and you can select the table where you want this measure to come. So I want this measure to be displayed in order info. So fine, I have selected this. Now the measure name, let's say I want the total of profit. Okay, or let's say I want the total of revenue. So measure name is going to be total of revenue. Fine, you can add description if you wish to, otherwise not required. Here equal to has been given in advance, so that's a good thing. Now here you can simply start typing the function or the formula which you want to apply. So here let's say I am typing sum. Now what you want to sum, I want to sum the revenue which is in order table. So let me scroll down, and in the order info I am looking for a revenue. So here it is. Okay, so I'm going to select this. That would be fine. Bracket close and click on OK. Fine. So one measure has been created. Let me go back over there, and in the order you will get to see this total of revenue, and if I will set my cursor over here, you can see the total revenue as well. However, let me stretch the column so that you can see the complete value. So the total of revenue is coming over here. In if I'm going to select this in the formula bar, you can see the function also which has been applied. Let's say I want to count the total number of client, so we can create measure over here also. So this is the our portion, and these are the portion for the measure. So let's say I'm over here, and I'm going to click, I'm going to give equal to. Now after equal to I want to count, so I will go for count function. Now I want to count distinct, so rather I can go for distinct count. Okay, now distinct count I have done, and from the order only, order info table only, I'm going to select client so that I can see how many clients are there. You can say that in the client data we have got all the clients, but let's say I'm not sure, maybe in the order data there are clients which are not in the client data. So that's the reason I have select the client from the order info, and I have applied the function which is distinct count. So how many distinct clients are there, it's going to count that. Bracket close, enter. So here you can see measure 1 and it is coming as 12. So we have got 12 clients overall. That's fine. But here measure 1 is coming. We can change it. Let me go over here and I am going to type count of customers. Now within the measure, we can use the measure in the function also. So here let's say I want to see the average number of revenue each customer is giving. Okay, so equal to I'm giving here the measure name is total of revenue. So I can simply start typing total. So you can see that total of revenue measure is coming and that's the symbol for measure. Okay, let me select this and that's going to be divided by count of customers. So again I will start typing count and you can see again that measure is coming. Let me select this, enter. So we have got the average. Now here you can see lots of decimals are coming, so that's not a big problem. Let me go to decimal numbers. Fine, and here I'm going to change the name once again, that is average revenue per customer. Fine, so we have got three measures created. Now we have got this three different data and we have established the connection, and the complete usefulness of it can be shown with the help of pivot table. So let me go to this data once again. Now over here you need to go to insert and you can click on pivot table simply. Now once you will click on pivot table, there are few options like select a table or range if you want to create a pivot table from the data. If you want to create the pivot table from external data source, or you want to create a pivot table from the data model which we want, so that is selected as well. Fine. If it is not selected, you need to select this. After that I am going for new worksheet and click on OK. Here you can see pivot table has been created. You can see client data source, it has taken Excel client, it has taken this Excel order, and it has taken this item info as well. Now over here the symbol is different. Over here it's simply taking table 1. The reason is being this table 1 is in this particular file only, so that's the reason it is coming over here. But that simply doesn't mean that it has not got any connection between these two. Means all these three data has been established connection and it is there only. This, if the symbol is not coming over here, that simply means that you are using the data which is in this particular file only. Fine, so let me click on this client and here you can see the client name, contact number, all the field options are coming. If I'm clicking on order info, again all the fields are coming, including the measure also that we have created. So out of this field, let's say I want to use the client, and so I'm taking the client name and I'm dragging it to rows. So all the clients are coming and that is being represented in row. Now from the order data, let's say we want to see the total revenue by each client. So I'm selecting revenue, placing it in values, and here you will be able to see that Aptech has given the revenue that is that much, Ducat, HCL, CDC, and so on. If we need to see that how many time transactions happens, means rather than some we want to see the count, you know it is the same way that we have done. So here I'm going to place the revenue once again and going over here, going for value fill setting, selecting count. So it is giving the count that how many time transactions happened, 100 times. Fine. So you can get the data or you can get the information which is not possible normally with the help of pivot table. If you have gone through the videos of pivot table, it is of no difference. The functionalities are same. The only difference is, or the advantage is, that here you are not using a single data, rather you can use multiple data and you can establish connection so that you can get the desired result. Now one extra feature which is available in Power Pivot is the KPI, which is almost like a conditional formatting. Let me show you how these things work. So let me click on KPI, that is key performance indicator. Okay, so new KPI. Fine. So here you will have to select that you want to create the KPI, key performance indicator, based on which particular field. So here it is coming count of customers, average revenue per customer, or total of revenue. So let's say I want to create this based on total of revenue. Okay. Now here you will have to give the absolute value, or you may go with the percentage manner also. So I'm going for absolute value. So let's say I'm giving here the target is 12 lakh and 50,000. Fine. Now from here we need to establish where what kind of color scheme we want where, or the icon set you can say. So here I want this up till let's say 85,000, and this I want after let's say 1,15,000. Fine, and click on OK. Now here you will get to see these numbers. Now what happens to the color scheme which we have seen here? So what you need to do, uh, come over here and you will get to see this total of revenue. Now here I am seeing this in order info because that is what we have established over there, that based on revenue we want. So it is over here, total of revenue. Let me click over here, need to deselect this. Now need to select this once again. Now here you can see the color schemes are coming. Fine. Apart from this, you can set the goal also, that what was the goal, that is the goal per client, so you can see that as well. So that is how key performance indicator can be set. Now apart from this, you can represent this with the help of pivot chart as well. So let me go to analyze, and here you need to click on pivot chart. So here it is suggesting the chart which is suitable according to this data. However, let's say I want to go with pie chart. Okay, and click on OK. So here it is represented with the help of pie chart. Let's say I don't want count over here, so right click and remove field. Now here it is representing with the help of data which we have got in pivot table, so which is based on client. Fine. So this is how you can create a pivot chart also based on your pivot table. Now we have seen the use of slicer before, but here I want to show you because right now the data is represented based on order info, and I'm going for let's say insert slicer, and here I want to insert slicer based on let's say client. Here you can see client and order info is only coming. You may wonder that why another table which is there that is not coming. So let me cross this. We have got client, we have got order info, and we have got table 1 also. So why this table 1 is not coming? It is also there, no need to worry. You need to click on all. These are the active which is over here which is being used, and if you will click on all, then we will get to see all the tables. Now from the all also I can use the slicer. Let's say I'm using the slicer which is item name. Okay, how that is possible? Because all these are connected, so I can use this. So I've selected item name, and let's say I want to see only the item of A4 paper, then it is showing AppTech total revenue for the A4 paper. If you need to do the multiple selection, you can use control button like this. It is in the similar manner we have used the pivot table, no difference. So hopefully you have understood this very powerful tool which is Power Pivot. So this is it for the video. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.